have no clearance. I didn't get permission to. I'm staying under the radar. You're never gonna notice me. I'm staying under the radar. Incognito.
Hey guys, I hope you guys can hear me because I think I heard that we might have some issues. Am I fine? Then stop saying I'm not fine. My husband's telling me I'm not fine, but I'm fine. And we are here on Mindforked. How you guys doing on this lovely November 6th? It's a Sunday. We're hanging out. I have a great guy back there just hanging out backstage, Browndwarf. But first of all, I want to start with thanking First Floor Audio for Incognito and for the fact that he is also going to join us at the end of the show to see us off and play us out because he is so awesome. And I've been hanging out with him. We're going to make sure that we sub to his channel. We just got a lot of community building going on, and I'm just super excited. So I see a ton of people in the chat. I'm so happy. But before I start saying hi to people in the chat, I think I'm gonna go ahead and invite my friend here that's backstage who's been. I talked to him the other day. He's like, I just got back from Mexico. I'm like, oh my God, such a world traveler. And you're taking the time to spend time with me, and I am just so honored. So without further ado, you guys welcome my guest, who Browndwarf is a Bigfoot researcher, and we're going to be looking back in time at some of this work and kind of looking at his journey and going down a ton of rabbit holes. So here we go.
Boom.
It's Browndwarf. Whoop, whoop.
Greetings, and salutations, Akashi, Chris, and everyone out there.
I'm so happy that you're here. It's so
Thank
exciting.
you. Finally got the invite.
I know. Hey, it was coming. I saw you the other day. We were like backstage, like recording our stuff for the cartoon, which you were Zeus and I was the great Yahweh. So if you guys have not seen Paranormal Highways cartoon series, we're like co-stars. We're like famous now. We're in cartoons. Like somebody else going to be a cartoon, and yeah, we're not dead, so we're good. So we'll be back. So let's go say hi to the people in the chat, shall we? Let's go start. Oh my God, so many people! I'm so happy. Unidentified S4, who's always here. Hi, honey. So glad you're here. And my flock Sarah, as usual, so supportive. Barbie Red, oh my God,
sister.
Somebody I don't know, welcome. So happy you're here. Chad Smith podcast, you can't miss him.
Chad.
Lee himself, who will be back here backstage, is getting ready, warmed up, ready to go. Angel Wings, hi sweetie, how are you? And let's see, Paranormal Pixie, Lara, Sheena, so many friends. Andy Gambino is in the house. The Gambino family.
Hey.
Hopefully Lisa will show up. The Gambinos, you know how they are, man. You don't mess with the Gambinos. Madam Two Swords. Let's see, Vera. Let's just make sure we say hi to all our friends that are so sweet to be here on this Sunday afternoon. Hopefully everybody's been doing okay. I'm so excited about today. Dude, I watched something crazy this morning before we get started. I watched the show, The Anarchist. It was a crazy documentary, and it's not what you think, but it's like, it kind of freaked me out. I'm like, there's a lot of themes there. There's a lot of stuff. It just kind of mind-forked me for the day. So that's, I've been recovering since this morning. I'm like, I binge watched this thing, and I'm like, I have thoughts. It was a definite trigger. Now back to the cool stuff. Jeanette Sanchez, before we talk about how my head's triggered. Hectic Stargazer Cindy, John P. John P's always here. He's so sweet. I think Carnundrum. I also made a Carnundrum. I made a Carnundrum TikTok. He put me in one of them. I feel like I'm such a celebrity. I feel
Well,
special.
you're a
I feel
star
so
for sure, Akashi.
special because, well, it wasn't a bad thing. So I feel blessed. Mario's hi. Oh my God, Mayred. Okay, we're gonna get through. We're gonna get through. Corner
Hey.
Clubhouse. Cobalt 66 is in the house. I feel like a bingo caller or auctioneer. Oliviero. Oh my God, Oliviera's in Italy.
Wow.
Browndwarf. I know, and he's here, and it's like probably the middle of the night. He's probably about to pass out. Thank you so much, Oliviero. My husband's here, who's right here on the couch. Hi, honey. And let's see, make sure I didn't miss it. Oh my God, Moonlight's here too. Sweet.
Hey,
Nina P.
Dina P in the house.
Yeah, okay, I think we're caught up now. Oh, no, we're not.
There.
Nightmare. I loved last night on first floor. They played. He played. Can you take my nightmares and two nightmare, and it was perfect. It was like he played a song. It was in my nightmares, two nightmare, and it was just fantastic. So, okay, buddy. So welcome to Mindforked. How are
Thank
you?
you.
Where are you? Where are you right now physically? Where are you
Well,
staying?
I'm in the flesh, and I'm currently in Southern California, Los Angeles, east side of LA, at my brother's skate and smoke shop.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we're at the
Ooh, that's
lab,
fun.
and I'm actually in the. I've been doing my thing here in the restroom because it's a bunch of city noise,
Oh
and
my God.
just in case there's customers, I decided to come in here, but we're safe here.
I had no idea you were. I swear to God, Chad, I did not say that because I knew he was in the restroom. I just like, you know what? Where exactly are you physically located? You're like, I'm on the toilet right now.
I'm sitting
Thanks
on the
for
toilet.
asking. This is so podcast from the toilet on Mindfork. There's no beans today. The wheel of beans, thank God, will not be played today. But if it were played, we would be in the right location, right,
Oh
Groundwork?
man. Yep.
Anyway,
I'm sure
we're gonna move.
the jokes are
We're
gonna be
gonna move
going.
on. This is gonna be happening the whole time. We said we were like gonna open up portals. We're like can like our energy. Who knows where this is gonna go? So before we move on, I do want to make sure that people get to know you a little bit. It's like for some people that are new, that are like, what are we talking about? We're here to talk Bigfoot, but it's so much more than Bigfoot. It's like the whole puzzle. So tell us a little bit about how you got here and just update us on, what's been your journey so far.
Yeah. So growing up in Los Angeles, always been into the weird, the bizarre stuff. Watching a lot of TV actually, watching these weird shows. You name it, I probably watched it. And dove into a lot of different weird books when I had the chance to get into them. And yeah, eventually made my way towards Northern California. Weird stuff happened here in LA, let me tell you. In Hollywood, especially, there's all types of wacky stuff going on there that we can get into. But
Yeah.
yeah, I made my way to NorCal, and come to find out, it's like Bigfoot's home up there. And yeah, just started hearing some of the stories from locals and other people, and ended up learning that the Patterson film was filmed up that way, and right in the county that I
Oh
was
yes.
actually visiting and ended up living in. And so that was just like a
Okay.
wow moment for me. And
You were destined for this. You were
I
destined
guess
for
so.
this.
I don't
You
know,
it
but
was There's something that led you there. So
definitely. And so I've just been trying to tap in and trying to follow this path that I feel I'm being guided towards, and beginning documenting this stuff. But yeah, you start hearing the stories once you're up there. You see it all around you, as far as stickers and posters and storefronts and shirts and you name it, and it's Bigfoot, and so that's cool. And yeah, started living in up in these hills. There's small towns around there, and they have a bigger town a little further apart in the county that basically is your main spot to get supplies and if you want to see people or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, these hills out there are pretty thick, and then you have the redwood forest there as well, and also the Pacific Ocean, which is amazingly beautiful. And yeah, so started meeting some of the people there, got familiar with the culture up there, and yeah, there's some far out people up that way. You get to meet some of these people and learn some cool new stuff. And yeah, so the Bigfoot bug finally bit me, and so I started by just my brother put me onto the YouTube stuff. I was hearing stuff
Mhm.
from firsthand from people, but then I got into the internet and started checking out what people were doing on there, what they were finding, things that they were sharing. And I was like, you know what? Let me take a look around here and see if I see any of this stuff. And I started on the property, and sure enough, started finding certain things like stick structures, um, certain
Oh, big stuff.
sounds,
Mhm.
certain vibes too. There's certain feelings. When I first got up to Northern California, once you hit those redwoods, let me tell you,
Mhm.
you have a really like a connection and a feeling. There's a certain vibe to these trees and to
Mhm.
these areas, and so yeah, that was just mind blowing as well. So yeah, going back
So
to
where
the
you were living, just to get a sense, so where you
uh
were living, how far away do you think you were from the next, where was the next house? Where was the next living or homestead?
so we were on a 40-acre property.
Mhm.
So the next homestead is you figure 40 acres. It's like yeah, maybe
Yeah,
like a
then
mile,
that's
maybe half a mile
mhm.
away
No,
or
no,
so.
no. 40 acres is it? Yeah, that's a healthy property where if
Yeah,
people
and
don't invade you.
yeah, no, so
Mm.
everyone has their space, but I could see like our neighbors spot, and that's across the hill. It's a hill over,
Mhm.
and these are like dirt country roads and gated. Our properties are gated, so you need a code to get in and out, and so very private. Um,
Mhm.
and then yeah, so some of these weird happenings started going on, and seeing what people were doing on the internet. I decided to just start documenting my own stuff. I started with my cell
Yeah.
phone, and
Mhm.
from there we go, off the property and checking out local state parks, because they're all nearby me
Yeah.
there. State parks and even did some national parks as well, and started finding more of these structures, and
Mhm. Yeah, before
also
we
I
get too far, I want to show before I want to keep on the memory lane before we go to structures because we got a
okay,
ton of structures. But I did dig up some memories of Browndwarf.
all right,
So his first, maybe his first, could be his first video is right here. Now I'll tell you where you're gonna have to turn it up. I'm gonna turn it up during this time if you have headphones so you can hear this. But this is one of the things, and I'll let you kind of talk about it. But this was one of the first. Let's see if I I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's like a very repetitive. They can hear it like a mockery or a copy. So I just wanted to take us down. I don't know if I think there's a sharper one even a little bit further down. There it is. So I'm gonna let you talk about that one.
yeah,
That's back in time. Let me turn my volume back down. Back in time with
yeah, that's
Brown
like what
Dwarf.
six
Last
six 6 years ago or something,
6 years ago, buddy.
and that
That's
was
when you
on
posted that.
That was an early morning, as you could hear the birds, and that was on the property. You can see the veggie garden below us there, and
Mm-hmm.
off to the hill to the right of the house. There's a hill behind us and a big old ridge, and there's
Mm-hmm.
I've always gotten vibes from that ridge, and so this morning I got woken up by these sounds, and it sounded like a hyena laughing to me,
Mm-hmm.
and which I know I'm aware of foxes, and we do have foxes roam through the property and stuff, and I've heard them before, and they could do like a similar type sound, but this thing
Mm-hmm.
sounded like it was laughing to me, and I right away, I only had my cell phone and hit the record button and decided to upload that to YouTube and see what people thought of it, because I had heard some other similar sounds. I believe they're called the Umatilla sounds, and that's
Mm.
up in the Pacific Northwest somewhere as well, if I'm not mistaken, in a
Wow.
reservation. And it sounded just the same to me. I'm like, wow, okay. Well, let me try uploading this to YouTube. I didn't even know how to work YouTube. I still don't really know the whole thing, but I decided to upload that and got some pretty cool feedback. And from there, that kind of started the whole thing of me documenting and posting stuff, and started meeting people. And in the comments, I met several people that really helped me out with some of the audio too. And I was actually guided to get an audio recorder, and I started learning about the brands of audio recorders and whatnot. And so I recommend that Zoom H5 audio recorder. It's awesome.
There we go.
Um,
Recommendations by Browndwarf.
yes. And so
Recommended
yeah,
products.
yeah, that's
Yep.
so yeah, it's very, very hard to listen to, but if you do want to check it out, go back and check it out. It is one of the first
I'm gonna
videos.
put it in the video description as your first
Sweet.
video for people to check out, because it's really interesting to see kind of where you started. And for people that, if you follow him on TikTok, it's so great, to keep up with, Bigfoot news, Bigfoot sightings, Bigfoot, people asking about Bigfoot, people, just talking about them. It's just so informative, and I just absolutely love it. So we'll be putting all that information out there.
Cool.
But talk to me now. Before I interrupted you so rudely, you were going to start talking about some structures, because there's some crazy stuff out there. And I want you to talk about it, and then we're going to pop up a couple of videos, and you can kind of talk us through what we're seeing, because it's interesting. It's not as simple as when you first look at a shot, you're like, oh, that's just sticks. And then you go, oh, crap. So tell us.
Yeah, so I started learning about these things, right? The structures, and they come in different calibers. I mean, there's some real massive ones that have been documented, real intricate and strange ones and stuff. And I have found both big, and I call them micro structures also sometimes, because I found very tiny things also that you wouldn't think, okay, well, did a Bigfoot do that or not, because it's so
Mm-hmm.
small. Or some of the big ones also is questionable. It's like they're so big, and it's like, whoa, maybe something bigger or something else did that. But anyway, I have found particular designs of structures I call it macro scale, because they're huge. And then I found
Mm-hmm.
that same pattern in a completely different forest, but super tiny. And I just found that very
That's
bizarre.
crazy.
Yeah, in the oddest place. And so yeah, I've been kind of just teaching myself and learning through others as well, just how to read these signs. I mean, I have no idea really what they mean, or no proof
Mm-hmm.
that these things are actually building them. But I do have one interesting timestamp, and I don't know, I believe I might have sent it to you, but it was a structure in a different part
Ooh.
of California. Um,
Mm-hmm.
with it was a timestamp picture, and it looked like two possible beings inside of this.
The two little, yeah, I have that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
one on
that.
all.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's one on
Yeah.
all fours, and the other one standing
Mhm.
next to it, and it looks very Bigfoot, Sasquatch like, and that I found that very interesting. And I do have the full video, and the full video, um, I haven't gone through it really, but it's on there because Gonzo from Breaking Bad had done a little breakdown, and he actually found the timestamp and sent it to me. And the structure is your typical,
There it
your
is.
X's, and it was just a
Let me
very
see if I
interesting.
can. Let me do a open with preview and see if I can just share.
And yeah, so the structures, I find fascinating, and I think it's an important thing to the subject because a lot of people do knock it; they're not into it, and it's because they don't have proof of it. But I don't think it should be thrown out, of the subject. And I do feel that people that are into it, yeah, you do your thing, do your structure thing, and if you're into something else, whether it be tracks or audio, study your thing, and let us do ours, and at some point maybe we come together and put more pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that window to pop up. Every
Yeah.
time I try to pop up, I can't. Let me see if I can get just the picture and do it as a file
Hmm.
because it is really cool. It was those two things that look like they're just drawn like they almost have really creepy. That was another creepy face one, but you're talking about the two wood pieces, right?
Hmm. Oh, the wood.
Okay.
Oh, so those are, yeah,
Or you're
that's,
talking about a creepy face on the woods?
yeah, no, that's, so those were
Oh,
possibly the gifts, and don't worry, we could explain that
okay.
too, but
Okay, so which one are you talking about? Were you talking about creepy face?
no, so this one is like,
Okay.
it was two subjects, and they were in the structure that I was documenting. So before I got to the
Oh,
structure,
yes. Sorry.
um
I know which one you're talking about.
yeah, do your thing. So before I got to the structure, um I noticed that there was something going on in that area, and I walked up to the area.
Okay.
Is it
And I,
this one?
no, but we could get into this if you want, if you'd like.
No, I'm gonna do whatever you want to do.
All right.
So hold on a second. I'm just trying to get in sync with you. Hold on. Is it this one?
And no, it's
Once
not.
again, I
But we could talk about
Okay.
that. Yeah, don't even worry about it.
Talk about whichever
If
you want to talk about, and then we'll pop them up.
if it pops up, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, play whatever one, and we could talk about
Well,
it.
let's do this guy over here only because
I'm questioning
I
this
just
branch here.
Yes.
think no, that's a
That's
really
how
cool
it ended
one.
up like that.
Yeah, this is weird.
As you can see, this tree that it landed on is completely wrapped around it.
I wonder if everybody can hear it. How big? I mean, okay. Where are you here?
So this is a Redwood Grove, down the
We've
hill
seen
from the
this
property.
before also,
Okay.
where the tree is kind of balanced on something,
And a lot of stuff has happened
It's like,
here.
that's about maybe
go ahead. Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, so this particular area
15
is
feet
always
out there.
changing with structures. There's constant
Either that fell from
structure activity.
up top
I've
and
gotten
somehow got
vocals
tied in
here,
there.
and there's another video that I sent to you, and we'll see if it pops up.
So
But
placed
I was
Mhm.
checking out a teepee structure, and while I was checking it out, I heard a big tree snap in the background, and so I pop out of the structure and I filmed towards the area where I heard the sound come from. And at the time, I don't even think I noticed, but there was a
Wow.
big old tree swaying in the background, so something was moving this tree back and forth, and that
Okay.
was pretty
It's not
interesting.
this one, right? Is it
No,
this
but this
guy?
one here is also interesting because
Once again, I
once
tried to go
again it's your
live.
teepee
I
structure,
wasn't getting service. I'm gonna do a
and
quick
this one
vid.
we found
We're right up the block.
behind pretty much our house. There's a church, and behind the
From our
church there's this
place,
teepee structure.
and
Once again,
we're
in a
from
redwood
this teepee
forest,
structure here, and we're right
and
behind the
this is
church.
more near the
We're
ocean.
amongst redwoods here. A lot of wood.
So how often, I mean, this is behind the property, right? So this is
Properties
not just
around
some
us.
area that you just occasionally go check out. These are things that you're like,
So it's been
you're
here for a while,
constantly
just
kind of
bottom.
monitoring these to see how quickly they pop up.
Yes, yes, I
Mhm.
did start monitoring them. So this one is it's a different property. So this is like 2 hours away from the other property that we were just talking about. And
Okay.
actually, it was my roommate who discovered it walking his dog.
That is fascinating. Because let me show you this other one. This oh no, this keeps going. This is cool.
Yeah, it's possible that they've been back here. That's who's building them.
And it was
I mean,
built
these aren't.
onto a live tree. And
It's like it's hooked. Like that they know to hook. You know, somebody knew it. Obviously, they hooked it up. They anchored it against the real tree.
Tony, finding it.
And it was like in the middle part of a trail. Like this was an open area, and it was a trail that was going pretty wide trail going through there. And no one attends the church. The church is always lonely, and people just don't go around the neighborhood like that there.
That is so interesting. Let me just I want to show a couple of others because this is so cool.
And then I also need to add, there's a lot of Bigfoot reports from that town. It's Trinidad, California, and I did have my second sighting in that town as well.
Oh goodness, I want to. You know, we're gonna ask, where's that? They're gonna want to see what's that. Okay, so let me. So I got video 1, video 2, video 3. I want to show. I think I ran out of. I did all the structures. Check this out. And then we have pictures.
That was a TP structure.
Find these tracks.
You guys,
Very
check out
small,
the depth of this.
But that's pretty deep in there. You can see those toes for sure.
Like
That sunk in. There's some animal tracks here too.
so you can get the
Push with a dog.
comparison.
Oh,
What do you
small
think those
person.
other animal tracks were?
Possibly raccoon.
Here we have another set. There's some more here, not as defined.
And this is recent out of Southern Oregon.
Oh, is it? Cool.
So that's about 3 or 4 hours north of where I was before in Humboldt County.
One of your favorite places. Where
Not as defined.
how fresh do you think those were? I mean, was it like super muddy? Did it look like it was pretty fresh? What do you think?
Well, it had to be pretty fresh, I imagine, because it wasn't like some of them weren't really like rock, like hard. So it was kind of a little bit muddy still, but it was a super hot day that day. And this is a weird one here too. Some pretty long toes.
Whoa! Look at the toe, like the shape of the foot itself. Those big long toes.
See where that pushed up, but very long.
Yeah, it almost looks more
ape-like
than
top part of the pad
toes.
foot.
Yeah.
Unless somebody really went in there. Let's think about the option. Somebody really went in there barefoot still into the mud and just kind of shoved their toes back and forth in order to mock this.
And I would say, I guess,
it looks like a hand.
Yeah, or I would say ape human like. But yeah, very human looking though. But there's certain things about it that stood out to me, and I did cast some of the tracks.
Big. Those are big, dude. Right?
And I said in the video, I was like, oh, they're fairly small because people expect to see huge ones. But yeah, we figured it was possibly a juvenile because they weren't massive, but they were big enough for me to document.
Lake, Southern Oregon.
And so another thing is that, they're not all perfect, which is a good thing because what I've heard is that, you don't. When we walk, our toes move, our feet move, so they're not all going to be perfect tracks, But here and there, you might get some real nice ones. And then that area, there's the Bigfoot trap. They actually have a trap near that lake. That's Applegate Lake in Oregon. And the trap was put there back in the 70s by some wildlife group, I believe.
Like a trap, like a
yeah.
Look like,
and it's like a wooden cabin, and I do have videos from there, and you could look it up as well. But they obviously never caught anything, but it's still there, and it's cool to check out. And I have also found teepee structures and structures around and on the trap. So I don't know if that
Oh, let
was,
me
that
show you.
could have been people doing that to try to leave a sign or whatever, or they're still around and they're doing their thing. They're still. And then so near the trap, I find another teepee structure and these tracks here. This is back in Humboldt County,
Oh,
Redwood
was this Humboldt
Forest.
County? Sorry, I went back.
Beautiful,
I went to this
beautiful.
one. Yeah. These guys, this is the ones that we already saw. It was right at the end. This is where you caught this piece, right?
Yeah, cool. Some
And then,
tracks, structure.
yeah, that's the one we already showed. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna, so then I did
Beautiful
have these
X.
kind of supporting, I love these pictures because they show the intricacy of, you know, how these this didn't just fall there. Most of the time that I
No.
walk around in the forest, I'm like, if I see, you know, sticks, I'm like, okay, they fell onto each other. No, this is very purposeful.
Yeah, yeah. And so I love finding these. And so yeah, that's a bigger, you know, I don't know how much justice the picture does, but this is a pretty big X.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the video. I want to show the video that has the guy that's walking underneath it. And I think it was the first video we were playing, but I don't think we got to it because that's where you really see the perspective. So I'm going to look at that. But look at these. It's just,
Double
it's
X
like
there.
yeah.
And
I
here's a
love this picture.
little hut type on the beach. This is near Trinidad as well. And then you got your
Beautiful.
X right there next to the little hut, and then a little tripod to the left of that of just three sticks, which looks like a little teepee like.
Yeah,
And
right here. Yeah, there's a little
mhm,
tripod on the side. So it's like a
mhm.
multi-structure.
And you find
It's
lots of these structures up and down certain beaches here, and a lot of reports come from these areas as well. So I'm just putting one and two together in my book, and keeping notes, and monitoring, documenting. And so this guy here, this is a possible Sasquatch. I don't know if people see that with the teeth showing. And it's a timestamp from one of my videos out of one of those redwood groves that I go investigate. And so it's not, you know, it's not confirmed that it's an actual thing, but it sure looks like something there. And yeah, the full video, it happens pretty fast. That's why I'm just showing the timestamp now, and I could definitely send you the full vid later to check out. And because
yeah, I'd love to see
yeah,
that.
there were some other anomalies that happened during that video, possibly other subjects. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, thank you for sharing that.
No, I want to make sure that so from I'm trying to think in kind of your adventures because we were talking on text earlier this week as far as like looking at all this stuff and you know your perspective. So how do you think, and we're going to go down rabbit holes here, but I'm just wondering, just fresh perspective, how do you think that that Bigfoot falls in with the bigger picture of, you know, you got all kinds of phenomena going on. You got multiple cryptids, you got, you know, Dogman, you got, you know, Mothman, you got, you know,
Mhm.
you know, Mapinguari in Brazil. It's like take your pick. It's like what are your thoughts, you know, on how
Yeah.
this all kind of starts to work out? What are they?
Yeah, that's a great question. I wonder myself, and I'm fascinated by the mystery. Um, and yeah, I really don't know, but I could give you my opinion, right? Yeah, I feel like yeah, they are possibly a human hybrid, and that's due to the DNA study that they did, which that's a whole other can of worms. But yeah, definitely interesting. So I recommend people check that out if they're interested in that. But uh, yeah, I think there's so many human qualities about them, and so much about them that's not also. But yeah, there's something to it. So I feel like attracted to what they might be. You know, I don't know what they are, but man, it's just yeah, it's a hard one. Anyway, but I feel
Yeah.
like Bigfoot is kind of like a gateway to the others. I call the others, you know, and yeah, you talk about all these other different types of cryptids. You know, Dogman being the hot one right now, which I really try not to focus too much on because I feel it's pretty dark. Even though Sasquatch could be a dark theme, but there is I feel like a light side to it, because you do hear
Mhm.
of some positive reports out there as well. People being possibly helped or rescued by these things, and so that's cool and interesting. And as far as other cryptids, yeah, I'm definitely into it. I'm careful how much energy I give to it, depending on what kind of vibe it gives out, because a lot of this stuff comes with a dark vibe. It seems like, it's scary and it's unknown, and some of it's
Yeah.
deadly, and so I,
It
try to be careful with that and balance out the all that fear and any negative vibes as well, and I do believe that there
yeah.
is good and positive cryptids out there as well, and I do want to be able to tap into that, and it'd be nice to document and share that stuff as well. So
Yeah.
definitely keep
The,
my eye out for
yeah.
that.
The more you say that, I keep thinking it's like we as humans, you're a human race. There's humans that are horrid. There's humans that are the best human, the best souls, the most giving people, and there's others that you just can't trust, and the horrible things that people do. So do we want to be judged the same way? That it's like because one of us is scary, we're all like horrid people that are going to go and attack you. It's like you can't. To me, it's kind of the same thing. I can't judge one. There's so many different creatures, and some of them might just be stories, but there's a lot of evidence that there's stuff that people are seeing that doesn't make sense. And it's like we were kind of theorizing, is it possible that these cryptids or these creatures are tied to us in some way, but they're like in the middle, in an interdimensional world where they live kind of in the middle. They can straddle too. Or maybe it's a time dimension that we're seeing, and it's briefly because we see the proof, but then we can't find it. But it's the same with UFOs. So it's like that's where I get really passionate, because some of the stuff
Yep.
just you can apply the exact same logic, and I think that they're all part of the puzzle. I think that cryptids, ghosts, reincarnation, the ancients, potentially giants, specifically because of physiology. It's like it's all kind of, UFOs, abduction. If you start thinking about it, it's like big puzzle. So that's why I'm like, where do
Mhm.
these fit? Because you
Yes.
see them sometimes and sometimes you don't. It's not like as many times as you go out there, how many times do you see these evidences? Is it like constant? What it's like
Yeah,
it's hiding, right?
it's not all the time, so doing this for a few years already. I feel myself, I was hitting it hard, going out is anytime I had a chance to get out there, I was doing it, even if it was in my backyard, even though I was home or whatever, I was out doing
Hmm.
something. And yeah, luckily, I feel like I was able to produce some fruits out of that, and I'm more than happy to share with people, and I don't mind people's opinions as well, and yeah, there's something to it, because there's things that have happened to me while I've been doing this stuff to kind of give me a little confirmation that, yeah, something is here.
Yeah, I think this one's one of those that had like the perspective
Yes.
of, and I'm not going to play the audio, but look at
Hmm.
this thing. It's like you see these things that remind you. It's like there's something there that I don't. This is misplaced
Yeah,
because
and that was a huge
nobody
redwood
really.
that was fallen over, and it was built at the cavity of the root,
And you'll
and
see here
that
in a
was pretty.
minute the person, right? You'll. This is the one where I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, you'll see the size comparison there, and actually, there's a pile of ferns to the left there that you could see, a fresh pile. So
Look at the
whoever
guy.
built that, hmm
Look at this, Chad. Look at the. I mean, this is pretty elaborate and heavy. This is not something that, it's not like they can drive trucks in there to go carry stuff. They're gonna have to really work really hard to make this up if, somebody is,
hmm
I mean,
and it was a total cave, so a perfect little hangout or whatever in there, and so that fresh pile of ferns also let me know that whoever did
Mhm.
this must have done it not too long ago, because those ferns are green and hadn't been used yet. So
I know, that's, look at the person inside of it. That's where I start to go, man, this is not small.
no.
It's like, how big and how strong were these
Mhm.
people, you
And to
know, or
collect
are these people?
collect all those branches as well, that I feel would have been a task.
Yeah, I mean, again, the closest, did you see like tire tracks around the place? Did you
Yeah,
see a
no,
lot
but
of, you know,
there is a road nearby there, but this is a well-known area once again for reports and all that stuff. Also, there was no sign of saw cuttings or nothing. These are all like broken branches.
oh, okay, so they're broken. So you don't see any tools being utilized.
Yeah, no tools.
Like no tools. Yep. Yeah, you guys, that's something else. These are not things to be easily dismissed, you know.
Hmm.
Um, it reminds me again, you know how obsessed I am with ancients and the fact that those structures don't make any sense. This reminds me of that. Look at the perspective of the size of those logs and the photographer in the background. I
Hmm.
just think that's perfect.
And right behind
So,
there is also the Eel River that flows through
mhm.
there. So there is a river. Um, and yeah, I found tracks along the river before. Um, and what else about the area? Oh yeah, Michael Rugg. I just posted on the TikTok a little video
Mm.
on Michael Rugg, the curator for the Bigfoot Discovery Museum in Santa Cruz County, California. And his first Bigfoot sighting was in this area here.
Ooh, is that on your TikTok right now? Let me see here.
The documentary on his museum is on there, but he didn't talk about his sighting. But if you go to his YouTube page, Michael Rugg, I do believe there's some videos there where he does talk about it, and it's the Eel
Oh,
River.
I know which one. I know which one it is because I was looking at. Hold on a second. Let me find him real quick. I was looking at some of his stuff. I thought it was pinned, right?
No, it wasn't pinned,
Or is
but it was
it?
like
Is
one of
it?
the last
Where
videos
is it? Where
I
is it?
posted.
Yeah.
Um, Also, he was a kid when that happened, which was interesting. So that was a pretty long time ago, and yeah. So this area here, I would say, is about maybe 2 hours from Bluff Creek, where the Patterson
Oh
game.
wow,
Yeah, so it's in the same county, and this is just
cool.
more towards the coast.
Hmm. Yeah, for some reason I'm not finding. I'm finding Paranormal Arkansas. That's not
Yeah,
it,
no,
right?
it was after that, so it's like before that. I think one
Rocky
of
Mountain Bigfoot, 911,
the
911, Giants.
Bigfoot
Oh, I didn't
Discovery
see them.
Museum.
Bigfoot Discovery Project Big Squatch. I probably went too far if I got the
No,
Big
yeah,
Squatch,
it's gonna
right?
be at towards the top. I think it was the last one, if not the second or last video I just posted.
Okay, so I've got Bigfoot Discovery Museum. Michael Rugg, there it is. Okay,
Hmm.
hold on. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Let's go. Show and tell. Percent.
And I believe the museum is back open. It was closed for a while. I know Michael's health hasn't been the greatest, so some prayers out for him. Hopefully, he's doing better. But this doc says that the museum is back open, so that's exciting.
Oh, that's good.
Hmm.
So it's this guy, right? I'm gonna go
Hmm.
ahead and try. Can you
Deep
guys
within the
hear it?
forests of Santa Cruz County, there's an elusive creature that very few
Can you
people have
guys hear
heard,
it?
let alone seen.
So we set up down there and we got our audio recorders. And just as we were setting up, we heard a scream.
But one of those few people who've both heard and seen it is Michael Rugg.
So I made a noise to get things going, like this. That's my portable wood knock. We know they use knocks to communicate.
For the better part of his adult life, Michael has been working to get a recording of the animal. And a few years ago, he got it.
Right here. Here's the Bigfoot. You catch that?
Uh-huh.
Whoa!
If you didn't catch it, here it is again. That is Bigfoot, according to Michael, and he's even captured video.
There's a Bigfoot behind the tree.
Since 1952, Michael's been collecting Bigfoot evidence and memorabilia from all over the world. And he displays it right here at the Bigfoot Discovery Museum in Felton, California.
And there's a full track.
You want me to keep playing it, right?
This is a
it's up to you.
copy of the
Yeah, no.
Formerly a graphic designer,
so
Michael left
cool.
Silicon Valley shortly after the
Look at the
dot-com
track.
bust in 2001 and moved into his father's workshop just off Highway 9.
And decided, I'm not going to be an art studio there. I'm going to be the Bigfoot guy.
Michael became more than just a Bigfoot guy. He became a dedicated researcher and historian.
It starts with the Yeti in the Himalayas with their footprints. In 1952, there was a big spread in Life magazine.
Man must not see. I see through Yeti.
The Yeti, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, the elusive creature has many names. And over the years, believers.
Okay.
So yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
him.
Yeah, that's so cool. And they're reopening the museum.
I
That's
believe they
awesome.
said it's back open. I'll have to double check, but I want to go to that museum. I haven't been to that one, but we do have one.
I want to go there.
Yeah, we have one in Humboldt County, which is a little under the Patterson-Gimlin site. So it's in Willow Creek, California. And that's where they have actual original castings from Patty the Bigfoot. And yeah, it's definitely a cool spot. I recommend people to go check it out. They need the support. And actually, I was living in the area for a while too, in Willow Creek, working there. And so I would take my lunch breaks at the museum.
That is so awesome. That is so fantastic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you travel like all the time? I mean, you're just kind of going back and forth, just driving everywhere, just wherever you hear that there's something going on. What's the day in the life of Brown Dwarf?
Yeah, pretty much. It seems like I'm always on the move somewhere. Like you mentioned earlier, I had a little trip to Mexico recently, which is cool. But yeah, I always seem to be, I'm always doing something. And being in Northern California, there's always a Bigfoot hotspot. So I'm always checking out different counties and finding similar stuff. And we do have a cabin in a neighboring county, which is awesome, in Trinity County, California, which is another good area for UFO activity, the bazaar, you name it. And that's getting more towards Mount Shasta. So that's between Mount Shasta and Humboldt County. So, and you've heard of Shasta.
Yeah, I heard of Shasta. We're going to be covering some stuff. It's like, it's just, it's so cool to me that you can, spend all this time out there. Now, tell me, I'm just curious. So have you had a moment, a total I don't mean to be crude, but it's like I crap my pants scared moment out there where it's just like, holy crap, maybe I went too far,
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. Not that I'm trying to make you vulnerable and cry like Barbara Walters, but it's you're a human being, you're not a superhero, and these things are huge. So tell me about that.
Yeah, it could be very scary, even knowing that there's crazy people, wildlife. You have to be very careful. And yeah, I've had some scary moments, but nothing to where I felt like I needed to run out of the woods or anything like that. I always pretty much kept my composure, and just living up there, you kind of learn, to live that country life, and just you adapt, and so I still get excited when I go out or I'm in the woods, and there's always that rush and stuff, and I live for it. And but yeah, no, I love the scary stuff too. I love going into creepy areas, and then if I do get the vibes of like, you shouldn't go any further, I do listen to myself, take the proper precautions, safety first. And yeah, there's a lot of things, to prepare for that as well. There's, they recommend the transponder, you know, for
Mm-hmm.
emergencies, you know, of course, pack your water,
So
maps.
you're teched out, right? You at least have some tech to help you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
throughout the years,
Mhm.
I've collected a lot more gear and stuff. But unfortunately, a little while back, I had a bunch of stuff stolen, a bunch of my Bigfoot stuff, which is weird. But
Are you kidding? Why the
yeah,
hell would
our
do
house
that?
got
That sucks.
yeah, it got burglarized and things happen, you know. But you know, we move forward, and I know I'll get that stuff back. I'm slowly getting my gear back, and but yeah, so a lot of the stuff I was able to document with that stuff, and some of the stuff I do double up on, so I didn't lose everything. So I'm still good.
Yeah. No. So what's kind of your routine from a spiritual perspective? You know, it's like obviously you guys are out there, and I'm thinking I say you guys because I think of you and Connor as being these, you know, these guys are out there just, you know, hands on doing their thing, and I know that you guys are pretty spiritual, and you know, so tell me a little bit about your kind of meditation and just
Yeah.
what helps you connect. Tell me a little bit about
So
that.
yeah, you know, so I don't know. I feel like I've always kind of been tapped into my inner self, but you know, life, you know, will throw some curveballs at you, and things happen, and you know, it's not all peachy all the time.
Mm.
But so I've had some experiences where were some really low points in my life, and kind of had some reality checks, and it popped me back into meditation. I've known about meditation and stuff, but I've been just getting back into it, and it's like, oh yeah, I totally forgot about this. You know, I needed to
Yeah.
incorporate this back into my life, and so I've been doing that lately, hitting it hard. I love it. I recommend it. And yeah, it's a good way to start off the day. And then from there, you know, just let everything else flow. You know, I'm learning to let go of things, and to just flow with things, you know, I don't know.
Mhm.
There's a lot of things that the human mind will block you and like hold you up from, and the
Mhm.
voices and you name it, you know. And I'm just like at a point where I'm just like ready to just do it, you know, just do what you got to do. And I recommend that for
Yeah, I feel
everybody as
like
well.
I am sent constant distractions to
Mm.
like no, don't think about that. Ooh, this like I have this thought and I'm like, ooh, that's an epiphany. And then 2 seconds later, it's like I'm busy with other stuff. I didn't jot it down. And it's like I remembered some moments being, wow, what if? Boom. And then I got busy. The dog started barking. Who the hell knows what happened? But it's like life gets in the way and it's like are we just always kind of doomed to, you know, some of us not be able to do that awakening, that enlightenment, that, you know, that connection? Because I think some of us are just seeing peeks through a window of something that's there available to all of us, but we just can't see it. And
Yeah.
that's my in my stupid head. I'm like, why would they all be so random and so elusive? Yet they seem so real, but then you
Hmm.
can't duplicate it and you can't prove it. And you can't, you know, you try to prove it and you spend all your life trying to prove it, but it almost like eludes you. I mean, how do you deal with that? Considering, I mean, this is your thing. It's like, how do you feel about, you know, kind of knowing that maybe you're fighting against something that just, you know, it's trying to tell you no, but I think you have a connection. I don't, for example. I think you're, you know, very well connected and I'm just kind of trying to get
I
there. So
Yeah,
enlighten
no,
me.
I know that we're everything's connected. You know, it's just figuring
Hmm.
out how, I guess, is the thing for us. But yeah, no, I feel like, I mean, I'm here on with you right now. You know, we've manifested this, and so I think we're on track. You know, we're on the right
Yeah.
track. I feel excited and happy about this. So I know I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm glad to be sharing this moment with you. So
I am
there we
too.
go. Yeah. So you know, I don't know. I just yeah. Once again, just flowing with the go. You know, I feel like
Hmm.
that's it, and you know, listening to your inner self, and you get guided to whatever it is that you want. You know, your desires, and you know, it'll work out for you, even though when you feel like it doesn't. I mean, man, this morning was a rough morning, and it
Hmm.
switched so fast. It was just like, yep,
Yeah.
okay, I can't forget, can't give up, let's hit it. And yeah, here
It
we are.
Yeah, it's like the whole manifestation of what you want your reality to be. You know,
Yeah,
it's like, and then you forget, but then you get bombarded with these obstacles, which are like just distractions, just to not let you focus on that manifestation. That's how I feel. I feel like, you know, in movie, and you're too young, but in the movie Airplane, where the pilot's like going through the airport and everybody's getting on him, and he's trying to get to the airplane, which is an emergency. He's like punching people, and the Hardy Krishnas are coming, and you know, the priests are coming, and the Girl Scouts, and they're like all, you know, all attacking him. He's like bam, bam, and I'm trying to get through, but it's like obstacles have been, they keep throwing it at
oh
you
yeah,
to
yeah,
throw you off.
yeah.
You
No,
know,
and I feel you. I feel you. And yeah, no, but I think that's where our work comes in. You know, we got to remember what it is that we need to do. You know, going back once again to the meditation, calibrate, and then reassess everything, and then boom, execute your plan. You know, and once again, just not giving up. You know, as much as we feel like it sometimes, you know, it's just like, oh, all right, this is it. But nah, just keep going, and you'll get there, and we're getting there, and it's wonderful when you get the signs, you know. So like for me, finding the structures are like the little signs, like here's a little token.
yeah.
Yes, you know, there is something going on out here, or here's some tracks, or here's a quick little
Yeah.
sighting, you know. And I could tell you really quick about my quick sightings, right quick.
Yes, please, because I want to know.
One was
Do
on.
you,
Uh-huh.
is that the one you sent me the video about, or a different one?
No, so these
Tell
sightings
me.
I wasn't able to capture on film
Mm-hmm.
or
Okay,
on
cool.
record.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was on the property. I was headed up to the top part of the property, and alongside me, let me tell you that the property is heavily wooded, and so I'm driving up to the top, and on the side of me, I see this thing flickering through the woods, running, and it looked like one of those old cartoon books that you flip and it kind of just,
Yeah.
you know, you see the cartoon.
Yeah.
That's what it
Yeah.
looked like. And then the thing, it was like it posted up behind a tree and it stuck its head out, and it was all black. It wasn't huge, and it was most of the face was covered black, would seem like hair, and then just like around the eyes and stuff, you could see like a gray, what looked like a mask.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, and we just stared at each other for a bit there, and I was just in shock. I didn't even think of grabbing. I'm sure I had my phone next to me. I didn't grab my phone, and my mind was just kind of in shock. I wasn't scared, but just more surprised and shocked. And we had this little stare down, and I just kind of kept on my way. I kept going on my way. Told my partner about it later. Told my neighbors, and they were like, "Okay, dude." And so yeah, that was that. And even after that happened, I kept, you know, pounding the ground even harder, you know, and stuff
Yeah.
kept happening around the property. So second sighting, I'll take, and there's been many times where I thought
Before
I've
you move
seen
on to that
things.
one, let me
Mhm.
ask you about this one, because you said that you didn't feel scared.
No, it
It's like,
wasn't
did
like,
you feel like any kind of like, did you feel like it, like you knew a feeling for some other reason? It's like it was giving you a sense of comfort, or do you feel like you just were not, you weren't,
yeah, I
you're
didn't feel,
conditioned to it? I don't know what the difference, you know.
yeah, I didn't feel any negative vibes or anything like that, or any scared feeling. It was just like more of a thing of like checking each other out. And it felt like we stared at each other just really quick, maybe like 30 seconds or so is what it felt like. But honestly, I don't know, who knows how long it really was, you know. But it felt
Yeah,
quick,
cool.
and that was that. And like I said, even after that, things were still happening around the property. I mean, I could go on and on about things, but and stuff that I have documented that's questionable. You know, a lot of people talk about pareidolia and stuff like that. So, you know, all that stuff's posted
Yeah.
on my YouTube channel. You just got to kind of find the stuff. And on the
I
TikTok,
want to hear about the second sighting. I don't want to
yeah,
miss out on that, because you're gonna throw me that. I ain't letting you out of
yeah,
that.
definitely. And I've been posting some of the stuff on the TikTok, and I'll tag my name on it when it's my actual video. So just want to put that out there. But the second sighting, so we're going back up north, Humboldt County again, to the town of Trinidad, where you saw that beach structure where you showed. Um, So I'm leaving the town of Trinidad, and it's an old fishing town, really beautiful place. I'm headed southbound on Highway 101. As soon as I get onto the on-ramp, there's about 3 or 4 other cars already passing in front of me. So there's a little bit of traffic, and I'm behind them. And I noticed from the opposite side, the left side, opposite side of the highway, and it's a pretty big highway, I see a tall black silhouette of a person walk across the highway. And it wasn't in a rush, it wasn't running, it walked calmly, and it went across. And I figured, maybe someone was going to honk at the person or whatever. And I told myself, when I pass by this little area where this person walked across, I'm gonna see who it is. So it's probably like, someone walking on the road, someone biking or something, which you do see every once in a while. But yet, you're in a pretty rural place. And so I passed by the area and there was no one there. And next to this area that I'm telling you, it's all redwoods. It drops. It's a steep drop, like a ravine. And if you keep going down in that area, you eventually you'll touch the ocean. You'll hit the ocean. So the ocean's right there. And there was nobody in sight. And I don't think a regular person would have walked down that area. And so that was that. And those steps that it took, I'm telling you, it must have been like 3-4 steps, like people always mention. It was just like it was quick, but it wasn't running. So
but it was, but it's like almost hovering.
No,
like
not
the
hovering.
steps were so big that
it was just it just
going.
Kind of walked across, and like I said, it was tall and black. And it wasn't super muscular. It had more of a lean build, kind of like people describe a basketball player, more like that. And no backpack or anything that I could see. And come to find out, if you go to the BFRO website, and people are sketchy about that website right now because of some of the reports. But there's a recent report out of Humboldt County, California, Trinidad, from 2013. It was recently submitted, and it was of 2 ladies driving along a road there, which I pretty much know the road, and it's alongside where this highway I'm telling you. They had I think it might have been a Class A or Class B sighting where they seen the thing walk across the road as well. And this is in the same area. Yeah. And
in the same
like
area.
Yeah. And like I said, you could find other reports from this town.
That's interesting when you start to really see the patterns, that people can dismiss one-off cases, but then when you start looking at how many, and I know I'm going to publish something, I'll add something that, kind of shows the maps of the, disappearances in certain areas, or, sightings of Bigfoot, kind of similar. And I know you guys are probably putting something together. It'd be really interesting to really have that centralized data where we can track the type of Bigfoot, the type of sighting, a level of confidence based on the data provided, so it would be really cool to have that collective and be able to search and see, what looks like this, what's out there. It's like you really have experts, not just people just making stuff up, but people that are out there really doing the research, answering those questions. I don't know, it's just, it would be seriously cool. We have a very creative, very resourceful society, community here of Bigfoot.
It's a rad idea.
Connoisseurs, bringing people together, community. That's what we're all about. So, but I do want to show you, send me a couple of other videos, because you're out there, you bump into more than just Bigfoot. So first, do we want to cover the sounds? Do you have thoughts? Let's cover the sounds for a minute, because it's like 3:05. Yeah, we got time. Well, actually, no, we're gonna move on. We're gonna do the orb video. I was doing this one. I want you to explain this guy to me, the heavy UFO. What am I looking at here, sir?
I don't know,
and
but
when?
I call that the mothership, because usually at the bottom you can see another little orb lighting up.
Lights.
But this was a bunch of them.
Turn it then.
What the hell that is?
It's
and
like
that's
there's
at
a bunch of
Dogs,
dots, and are they like one
yeah,
big thing, or are they?
yeah. It looks like one big thing.
jumped
I
in
don't
front of the
know.
camera.
I had
Get in the way.
that was the first time I seen this many, and this is about 3 in the morning, and something
Whatever
woke
it
me up.
is, it
Like
looks very
I don't know. They look outside, I guess, and sure enough, I
strange.
popped the
I've never
camera
seen
out,
those
and
lights like that down
this
there.
was all going on, and the lights
That's
were moving, and yeah, I've seen the orange type orbs. It looks like an orange glow. It almost looks like a fire, but I had
yeah.
no
It's like
idea. So it was like a
Get out
bunch
of
of
the
orbs
way.
moving around, and then that
Yeah.
big mass of, I guess, orbs or bigger whatever it is. I had no idea, but that was really bizarre on the property.
I can't. That is seriously cool, man. Hold on, let me take that one out.
That was true.
Oh, we got Lee back there. We're gonna get to you in a minute, Lee. Lee's like
Woo-hoo.
warming up, getting his
All
stuff ready
right.
for a little impromptu, just not impromptu because it's planned. Little concert that we're gonna have going on there. But hold on, I want to show. There's several of those that I thought were super interesting. Hold on. This orb. Let's talk about this orby thing going on here.
All right.
Tell
That's
me
the
All
what's
right,
up
this is
cabin.
there.
daytime footage. This is the orb we've been recording.
You can talk. I'm going to turn down
It's
the
well
audio
past
so
9
you can tell
o'clock.
me
Mhm.
about it.
That's the cabin. That's
It's the
in
light out.
Trinity County. Like I said, right
Mm-hmm.
in between Shasta and Humboldt County. And across the way, there's some
Nobody around here.
hills. No one lives there. And this orb has been popping out every night in this particular area. And it does the same thing as the orbs on the property and the orbs I've experienced everywhere else, excuse me. And this
Wow.
gives you a perspective, kind of, it's 9 o'clock, but the light is still out, and you can see it's in the mountains there, or in the hills, I should say. And that's
Mm-hmm.
near the Trinity Alps are in the
Yeah, it's
area, and
kind of
our
dark.
elevation there is about 2,000
You
feet.
can't see it. It's covered. But yeah, nobody lives up
Can
there.
you not
And there's
get to
Couple
it, get to
houses.
focus with enough? And I mean, you just can't. Is that
so
the?
I'm using my phone,
Mm-hmm. It'd be interesting to
and
see with binoculars because if it's happening every night, I don't. I mean, is it happening like consistently, clockwork? This
yeah,
is the middle of
almost.
nowhere, though.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
there's
this is
no really
really
roads up
dense in
to
here.
that particular area. And like I said, I've documented at nighttime, which also gives you a better view of the orb, but it doesn't give you the view of where it's at. Sometimes they're in the sky, sometimes they're in the woods. And like that particular one, I don't know if it blinked off or on, but sometimes they'll shut off completely, or they'll
Some weird
swell up and
clouds
get
are
a lot bigger. They'll
coming
shrink,
from the sky
they
last
dance
night.
around, they
Right there.
change colors.
It's right in the
They
beginning of
do
the
a lot of
video.
weird stuff.
And
But yeah, basically, it
Yeah.
kind
almost
of
looks
faint
like a
and silent.
star.
And it was going on
And
for a while. It gave me time
yeah,
to
I've had
pop my
what
phone
I
out,
call maybe mind
record.
speak
So that was
sometimes
cool.
with them too, because sometimes I'll stare at
Some
them so
people
long, I'll start getting like
might
these
not be able to
thoughts
hear it.
that I guess
Yeah.
aren't really mine. I don't know. I'm like, dude, am I thinking that, or are you asking me this, or what's going on here? And I always come in,
Yeah.
I greet them, and I present myself in a good way. I come in peace, and I mean no harm. And even with the Sasquatch or with anything, I just always kind of put that vibe out there first to let them know that I'm not here on a negative tip.
Yeah, I think the energy makes a big difference. It's like that's what I like about you and Connor that have that really positive, just light. It's like you guys can emanate this light, just this positive energy that you're trying to give out there.
Yeah, we're
And
trying.
hopefully you'll be receiving it right back. Hold on,
Yeah,
let
and
me
I
get a
can't,
couple, and then we're gonna get Lee in here. But I want to get a couple more, and then
cool.
let me see, because it was. Oh, you know what I wanted to show? Let's
And I'd love to
see.
investigate with Connor. That'd be great.
Oh my God, you guys would be. You have to keep doing that. Have you done anything together, or you just
No,
on
not well.
screen, never
No,
in person?
no, just the cartoon recently. But
Oh, we
yeah,
need to we
I
need to do
feel
something
we
about
will.
that. Yeah. Okay, talk to us about these pics
All
you
right.
sent
So this
me
this
because
is
I love
also
them.
recent. Yeah, this is
Hmm.
also recent, and this is at the ranch that my uncle's and aunt's ranch in
Oh.
Mexico, where I went to go visit recently. and she actually captured my aunt actually captured these pictures, and knowing that I'm into all this stuff, she gladly shared them with me. And yeah, this is in Mexicali, Mexico. So it's not far into Mexico. It's right near the border. And not too far from here is a mountain called La Rumorosa, which is also, they've actually recently named it the UFO World Capital, which is a pretty big title. And so you guys could look that up. I don't know why exactly they named it that. I guess there's that much activity going on, but I do and have heard of, do know of and have heard of UFO activity up there as well. There's a rock that I have with my dad and brother up there that's actually in the shape of an alien that's in the area, a huge rock. And I'll send you that later. You might have seen that. But,
I
I'll send you
want to
that
see
later for you to check
that.
out. So yeah, definitely a trippy place up there. And definitely want to go back up into those mountains because I didn't this time to do a little more investigating.
Oh, this is awesome. Now, when I looked, in fairness, this is hard to tell here. I should have probably zoomed in and gotten a good one. I'm trying to see if I can probably not zoom in on this. Let me see if I can do something because it's not. I zoomed in to see if it's like this. It looked like it could be pareidolia, but there's something consistent about a detail in that seems like it's not pareidolia to me. And I try to remain a healthy skeptic, but that one seems a little weird because it consistently kept, even in 3 different shots, it keeps the shape and it's just a darker. It's symmetrical and darker.
Yeah, it has a triangle shape to it in my eyes, and it's just kind of weird. And I definitely sent that over to Anthony over S4, unidentified S4, and he found it very interesting. I believe he might have showed them today as well. Hopefully he was able to show them and they were able to really see what was going on there. But yeah.
I'm trying to see what I'm missing, and then we're gonna let Lee hear in a minute. So let's see. Was there anything else you wanted to kind of cover? Things, as you have these people out there, of course, everybody's waiting for
the I mean,
report on the UFOs, and it's like, in the meantime, we got a lot of other stuff going on. We got a lot of research on Bigfoot. We got, we got ancients that we got to, look into. We got all this other stuff.
Yeah, so we could go on and on. I feel I could go on and on with you, Akashi. And yeah, no, not really. I mean, we could just let Lee do his thing, but yeah, I feel honored once again. Thank you for having me on, and yeah, no, just everyone keep doing your thing. I appreciate everyone's support out there, and yeah, you guys keep supporting Akashi, Chris. You're doing great things out there, and
thank you so much.
Yeah. Once again, I'm very happy with being on here, and thank you to everyone out there.
Well, thank you. So hold on a minute because we're gonna play, and then it's Mr.
Big Lee.
Personal audio, and look at the bright red. And it looks like there's a sun coming from behind him. It's like a sunrise.
Yeah,
it's a sunrise of talent.
I didn't know exactly when you were gonna let me in, so I didn't put the motor on.
I'm sorry, but you can hang in there. We're casual. I was actually saying I wanted to cover some of the Browndwarf stuff that he's got going on while you prep. So, but I wanted to bring you in because you look so lonely back there.
I was fine. I was fine. Just sat there. I was in the chat anyway.
I'm sorry. So Browndwarf, so you got TikTok, you got your YouTube, you got, you just got back from your trip and, saw some amazing stuff. So what's coming, what's next for you?
Yeah. So as far as the TikTok, the TikTok, I'm new to it. I'm just learning and having fun with it. And I'm just using it as a information source. It's stuff that I come across, news, videos, just anything related to cryptids, mainly Bigfoot, but anything else, aliens or anything interesting. I even posted some stuff on the Stockton serial killer that was out and luckily got captured recently.
We did want to, before you go on, Lee, just hang in there with us for a second because we got a cool little segue because there is one thing that you brought up.
Hey, listen.
Hang out
Right,
with us.
I need you to check. I need you to check the private chat anyway before I actually start to make sure it's all right. Just give me a nod if you're okay with it.
I will do that.
All right,
Hold
just
on a
nod me if
second.
you're okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then
Oh,
you crack on.
yeah.
No, hide. Is
Okay,
that
that
okay?
gives me, I am all good with that. That's happening right there. You
Right,
guys wait,
okay.
this is gonna be really good. So I want to cover one more thing with
Yeah, no, you
Browndwarf
crack on. I'll
because
sit.
yeah, and we're coming back. Yeah, we got plenty of time because the next thing is Anthony is on next. It is like a whole Bigfoot afternoon. It's
Perfect.
like a Bigfoot bonanza. We got Long Island Bigfoot going on with Anthony and
Woo,
Andy, so we're gonna have to hop onto that. Stuart and I are gonna we're in the cabin, so we're gonna get booking over to the car so we can catch Anthony. But we got some really good stuff coming from Lee here, so I want to get to that. But before we do that, I want to show because I find this really interesting. We were talking about like missing cases and stuff, and we're not going to cover this whole thing right now. So this struck me. Let me turn this down. So this is an actual missing case. So why did you post this? I want to kind of get into it because we're talking about all missing cases. It's like
Yeah.
what could we do with this? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I guess it was reported that the guy, this young lady went up with this older gentleman. I don't know why, up into the Sierras, and come to find out, the guy had I guess was a Bigfooter or was into Bigfoot or something like that, and they had gone up there, if I'm not mistaken, once again to supposedly try and contact the Sasquatch. And the young lady went missing. Supposedly, they spotted one, and she ran off towards it and never came back. And the guy was arrested, I think, for her murder or something like that. But he swore that that's what happened, and so that really caught my attention. And it being up in the Sierras, and we know about the Sierras and the 411 phenomenon, and we know there's Bigfoot up there. So it's just like, wow, that really struck a chord inside of me, and decided to post that.
It struck it for me too because I had already seen some videos on like missing persons in national parks. And it's like, some people reporting Sasquatch, especially Sierra, because I had Terry Albright on my show and he played the Sierra sounds. And I'm not going to play those today, but it's like I started to kind of go down my own rabbit hole on that one because with Crime Time, Wine Time, Bobby focuses on reading tarot about these missing cases and, true crime. So I'm going to talk to her about having kind of a collab where maybe we look at some of the cases, Sasquatch or no Sasquatch, let's read about those cases. Let's try to give a voice to the voiceless. And definitely if it's not Sasquatch, let's at least talk about it, see if, so I thought that would be a really good segue to
awesome.
that. So. But any any shows? Just going to be doing research right now. Nothing scheduled for this next week.
I'm trying to get out there as much as possible. I think possibly maybe something with Paranormal Highway tomorrow. It's not
fun.
But yeah, we'll
buddy
see.
Eric.
We'll see about that. And but yeah, no, I'm trying to hit the field. And if I can't make it to the mountains, hopefully we could do some haunted spots here in the city.
No, I feel so blessed to know you and to be able to talk to you about this. We've been texting all week, just kind of like, what if? And I'm here bothering him, right? He's sending me stuff and I'm sending him stuff back. It's like, what is this? What about giants? What about elongated skulls without sutures? Like, who knows? We're just kind of throwing stuff out there, but it's so great to meet somebody that, you can talk to, about this. So now, without further ado, we're going to get a little concert because you're badass and we have Mr. First Floor Audio in the house, ready to do, play us off after a nice afternoon of Bigfoot before going to Anthony. So Lee, hi.
Well, hi. How are you doing?
Hello.
Is my sound okay? I need a really quick sound check because I didn't come before the show, and so let me just.
It's beautiful. I'm
Yeah.
checking and I'm gonna mute because I know that I type hard.
Yeah. All folks need to mute. Hello, ladies and
We're
gentlemen. It's
gonna-
it's like last night again, isn't it? We're all back again.
I know, except Andy.
Good to see you, Browndwarf, too, man.
It sounds really good. We're allowed to clap, right? Are the rules in here we're allowed to clap? Because I got to clap. Yay! We're clapping. Thank you, Lee. That's one of my favorites. And we got one more that we're after that one. I'm going to play us off. So I just want to remind people, Lee is on Saturday nights. Do not miss this guy. This corner of YouTube is totally worth hanging out. You know, I've been here like a year hanging out with this guy, and it is so fun. And he works so hard. So please support Lee. Support Browndwarf. Crime Time, Wine Time on Monday. We're going to have the Elisa Lam story, which inspired American Horror Story Hotel. So pretty hot there. And then
Akashi,
finally next, yeah.
Excuse me, if you're doing the Elisa Lam, I'm right by the Cecil Hotel. I could go and investigate for you if you'd like. Let me know.
Oh my God. Oh my God, synchronicities just happened. I'm like American Horror Story Hotel freak, and Ryan Murphy was inspired by that story to create Hotel Season. So I'm like, because it was really creepy. So yeah, we'll definitely talk. So next week, one final thing before Lee takes us out. Next week, Ron and I are back. Ron and I are back with the Gate of the Puma, which is going to be taking us to Puma Punku. We're going to go to Bolivia. We're going to be talking to Tiahuanaco. And the beans are back. The Wheel of Beans is back with extra elements that are now shipped and on their way to run. So save your money, folks, because you're going to need it to play the Beans game with Ron next week. Look, he's so excited. He's like, oh, yay, I can't wait. Because he hasn't seen the double wheel. So without further ado, I'm going to send us off to Lee, the master, to play us off. Thank you so much, Browndwarf. After that, I'm going to shut us down and end the broadcast. Do it, Lee. Take us home.
Live in the moment. The only time that matters is now. Time is an illusion. Breathing every second. The only time that matters is now. There's only now. Live in the moment. The only time that matters is now. Time is an illusion. Breathing every second. The only time that matters is now. It's only now. Live in the moment. The only time that matters is now. Time is an illusion. Every second, the only time that matters is now. It's only now. It's only now. There's only now. The only time that matters is now. There's only now. The only time that matters is now. There's only now. The only time that matters is now. There's only now. The only time that matters is now. Cheers.
That was awesome, Lee. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming. There we go again. We're leaving again. Thank you so much. I'll see you on Saturday. I'm probably in 20,000 chats between now and then. So I'm going to put you backstage. I think I lost Browndwarf. I'll see you backstage. Mwah, kisses. And thank you guys. That was so fun. Was it fun? Did everybody have a good time? Okay, well, I am going to end this broadcast now because we're getting ready for more Bigfoot coming up in 25 minutes. So please head on over to Unidentified S4 with Long Island Bigfoot, doing a great job. Next week, come back here for the Gate of the Puma with Ron himself. That's going to join me again for part 2 of our ancient series. So love you. Peace. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.